Before Regular Show The Lost Tapes releases on the 11th of May, come with me to recap the most important episodes. Today's episode is a special 3-in-1 series covering all 3 Format Wars episodes. Look, I wanted to do this video like the other videos before it, but to be honest, I don't think it's really worth me just retelling the story of the Format Wars. There are other videos on YouTube where people do a much better analysis than I could. So instead, I'm just going to focus on the themes that are present throughout these 3 episodes and why I think, or at least thought, they would be important for the Lost Tapes. Okay, a quick recap of the first episode. Muscleman, High Five, Ghost, Rigby, and Mordecai are cleaning the garage when they accidentally stumble upon a laser disc that has 21 Time Attack, the director's cut, on it.
Dude, it's 2112 Time Attack director's cut on Laserdisc! Whoa!
Essentially, they go on an entire quest trying to look for a laserdisc to watch this movie, and in typical Regular Show fashion, they end up in a Format Wars just to watch a movie that ends up being kinda ass anyway. But through that quest, we find out that older, obsolete, and nearly obsolete formats have guardians that protect them. They kind of function as avatars for the formats. And the main war is between the VHS faction and the laserdisc faction. And the laserdisc faction has been losing so badly that there is only one laserdisc left and only one laserdisc player left. They end up beating the VHS guys with a couple of losses, RIP A-Track and this dude. This episode serves more as a lore-heavy episode for Regular Show, and so the themes aren't really as, important as the story. But the themes that I was able to make out are perseverance and corporate conspiracy, or just conspiracy in general. The second episode in the Format Wars Saga, which is titled, is honestly, in my opinion, one of the best episodes of Regular Show, period, as this one is able to strike a much better balance between the lore and the themes that they're trying to convey. So a little recap, since the last Format Wars episode, Laserdisc has been booming again, but there's a secret threat that's been brewing in the background, another format, a new format. But we also get the reveal of a 5th disc master, which is Benson, and they all have to come together to defeat DVD and internet. This one has very strong themes of owning versus renting, and a very blatant anti-streaming message, which is something that carries on in the Lost Tapes, but we'll get to that in another video. And as much as DVD serves as the primary antagonist, the true antagonist, or the villain behind the villain, is streaming/internet, who's trying to wipe out all the formats, including DVD. And this tension causes DVD to switch sides at the last second. And at the end of this episode, we get a really creepy message from Internet, who hasn't actually died, and says,
"Fidelity is not a priority for consumers. Free streaming content will conquer all."
The final episode in the Streaming Wars saga is titled. This episode takes place in the final season of Regular Show, so there's a lot going on. You've got the resurgence of the Format Wars, while at the same time our main characters are having to deal with anti-pops. And a majority of the conflict takes place on planet Nielsen, where we find out that Planet Nielsen used to basically be a broadcasting company until recently it became Planet Streaming and made all the normal people who work at broadcasting companies obsolete. And I'm not really sure, but I think internet became streaming, or streaming is internet. I don't remember the actual explanation they gave, but streaming is back and is the primary villain of this episode. In this episode, we get an interesting contrast between Benson and Pops, who are both seen as chosen ones in a sense. Benson as the 5th disc master and Pops as Pops. And all this ties into how very Matrix coded this entire episode was. I mean, the Seer character is quite literally either the Oracle or, what's that dude's name? The white dude with the beard inside the... That dude. I'll put a picture up, you'll see him. And because of how powerful internet and streaming has grown, all the obsolete formats, every single one in the universe, I guess, unites against streaming. Who I'm pretty sure, I didn't check, but who I'm pretty sure is voiced by Keith David. The Seer also serves as a sort of fourth wall meta commentary on the show in its entirety, as well as, I guess, streaming in general. And one of the things she says that I think will be very important in the Lost Tapes episodes that I haven't seen yet, is that she says that she wishes Eileen was a more prominent character, which I believe is the writers speaking directly to the fans about how they wish Eileen was more prominent. So the Seer serves as both a combination of fans' voices as well as the writers and creators' admissions. I mean, she's in the final season. She's the only character who we didn't meet in the beginning of the show who's in the final season. And she does have an entire episode dedicated to her in the Lost Tapes.